A question I get all the time is, how do I hear the voice of God in my life? How do I know that God is speaking to me? I think that's an awesome question. Well, one of the ways that God speaks to us is that he speaks to us through nature, in observing the plants, the birds, even the vegetation, so we can hear God speaking through them. God also speaks to us through various life circumstances and patterns that we may even see. We call this his providence. God speaks to us through there. God can even speak to us through dreams. He definitely does that as well. God also speaks to us as we speak with other Christians, with other believers who are faithfully walking with him and faithfully following him. In fact, there's a Bible verse that says, in a multitude of counselors, there's wisdom. But the primary way that God speaks to us is that he speaks to us through his word. His word, which we call the Bible, that's his written word. And his word that we call the living word, who is Jesus Christ. That's the primary and the best place where God speaks to us. Spending more time there will give us greater wisdom in order to discern his voice. But there's something else that we need to also consider as well. There's a verse in the Bible that speaks to the heart of this issue. And in John 10, Jesus says something that is profound. He says, "My sheep know my voice." Interesting. Here it seems like what Jesus is saying is that when we become his sheep, then as his sheep, we begin to naturally learn the voice of our shepherd. If this is the case, then maybe there's another question we need to ask ourselves. And the question is this: instead of asking ourselves, how do we know God's voice in our lives? Maybe the question we need to ask ourselves is, are we a part of his sheepfold? Because Jesus is saying when we are, then naturally we begin to discern our shepherd's voice. So that's my question to you this morning. Are you a part of Jesus' sheepfold? And if you're not, then Jesus has an open invitation to you. He says, "I am the door. You can come through me." I invite you to accept that invitation today.